us and hanging out with us. So happy Monday. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe and enjoying your week. If you couldn't hear the audio for the last couple seconds there on YouTube, apologies. You should be good on it now as we are working the travel studio element of this. But happy to be here with you. We're in the travel studios because of the fact that I am down here in the great state of Florida after covering the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ross with a message here. Have a great show. Great Jets comeback win, and also a nice Jaguars victory, as I know Ross is also a massive Jets fan, as is Murph, who's going to be with me. Of course, you know that Mondays, it's a Murph Monday. That's what I call it in my head when I wake up on a Monday morning. I'm like, it's Murph Monday. And no matter who's been crazy, wild, wacky, and insane, I know one thing is consistent. I get to talk to Murph, and I get to have a good time with it. One of the only normal people left on this planet, Brendan Murphy. So, going to have some fun here on the broadcast with Murph this morning and have some fun with you guys as well. Inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Murph and I talking about his Jets, my Jags, and a great Victory Monday here as we are traveling in the great state of Florida, our second home and second hub of Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. Later on in the broadcast today, I will feature my newest Saxons Spotlight, and that Saxons Spotlight is going to be featuring the baseball team, head coach Brian Kehew, as well as Quinton, an outfielder on the team. Very interesting story that this team that will compete immediately in NCAA Division III was not there last season. They had a club baseball team, and then Medaille University unfortunately closed its doors, and the entire Medaille University baseball team was brought into Alfred University, head coach and players, to start the program at Alfred, but to continue what they had already worked on. So a new program, yet not new to each other, a very interesting element at Alfred University for the baseball team, and we'll speak on that in the Saxon Spotlight at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So with that being said, let me bring in the man of the Mondays here. That is Brendan Murphy, wearing his Jets. I'm wearing my Jags. We didn't have to talk about it. One of the best text messages I have gotten and Brendan and I were talking off the air about messages that I don't like, but one of the best messages that I have gotten in a long time was this message: you, me, Jets, Jags, all morning. Simple as that. That's all I needed to say. I read that message and I went, yeah, okay. Why can't I find somebody? Okay, that's the thing. Like, Murph and I are like brothers. I said, in lady form, if a girl said to me, you, me, Jags game tonight, question mark, I'd be like, let's get married. Let's figure it out. So how we doing, Murph? How's life?
Life is good. Life is good. The Jets beat the Eagles
Yeah.
for the first time ever.
Yeah.
There were a lot of how do I put this lightly? There were a lot of cuss words said at the television during that game yesterday,
Yeah.
especially at the end when they beat the Eagles. I think I'll leave it up to y'all's imagination to guess what I was saying. But beating the Eagles going into the bye week 3-3 could not feel any better.
Yeah. And that, like you talked about, getting that victory, defeating the Eagles, a game that, a lot of people
and
didn't
that,
have them in or believe that they could, be a part. Basically, when we saw in week one, in what felt like 3 seconds, Aaron Rodgers go down, a lot of people said, okay, well, the season was there and now it's over. It's done.
Yep.
There's no quarterback. This team's not going to be able to get the job done. It's a season that we just kind of chalk up and wipe our hands clean of and move on. And then the Jets said, hold on a second. And in that first game, the way that they played, the way that they fought, the way they've gone up against really everybody this season has shown me that this Jets team is banding together. Maybe better than they've banded together in the past when they've had other leadership and other people around. The New York Jets, in my opinion, watching them and seeing them, and especially recently going over to Zach Wilson and seeing his teammates go and sit with him and try to encourage him and say, when obviously a game didn't go didn't end in favor of the Jets getting a victory and them going and being by his side in that Chiefs game when they lost 23-20, and seeing his teammates, didn't matter what position, offense, defense, special teams, going over, putting their hand on his shoulder and talking to him. This team lost 3 in a row, and when you look at it, they defeat the Bills in that first game. Total team effort, offense, defense, special teams. Lose to the Cowboys on the road by 20, and then lose to the Patriots in a hard-fought close game, 15-10. Then they bring the Chiefs to 23 points, and holding the Chiefs around 20 is already a victory. They lose by just a field goal in that game, and some questionable calls and things happen in that game. They defeat the Broncos on the road, and then now they defeat the Eagles.
That's an understatement.
Right, no, and we could get into that. But
we will.
Zach Wilson, this defense, honestly, people wrote them off, disrespected them, threw them in the trash, and they have gone up against who I consider, there's the top 3 teams going into this week in the NFL in no specific order: Niners, Eagles, Chiefs. The Jets have played 2 out of those 3 teams, and they should have at least tied the Kansas City Chiefs and gone to overtime, and they defeated the Eagles. And I think that's saying a lot about a team that a lot of people thought was going nowhere this year.
Exactly. I mean, realistically, going back to that Chiefs game, you and I both know the refs blew that game. They blew that game. I think we talked about it that Monday, and, you know, throwing the flag well after the penalty actually occurred, only after they actually picked off Patrick Mahomes because it was not a holding. Going into it last night or yesterday afternoon, I was dealing at a card show, and I was talking to some of the people there. They said, "Oh, what do you think of the Jets and Eagles today?" I'm like, "I don't think they have a chance." I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to the bye 2-4. It's not that bad. We'll be okay." And then they come out, I don't want to say flat-footed, but they came out kind of flat-footed.
Yeah.
The Eagles touchdown drive seemingly took forever. It took 19 plays, I think it was. It took an eternity. And then on 4th down, Jalen Hurts reaches for the end zone, fumbles into the end zone, picked up by one of the Eagles, which would technically be a touchback, I'm pretty sure. No, it would have been a touchback if a Jet picked it up. So they decided to go to replay. And I'm looking at this replay. I'm like, there's no shot he crossed the goal line. No shot.
Yeah.
And they ruled it a fumble on the field.
Yeah.
So there had to be indisputable evidence
that it wasn't,
in order for them to overturn the call.
Yeah.
Which there was not. And they called it a touchdown. That was the first blunder by the refs, if you ask me. Secondly, the left tackle and on occasion the right tackle would false start on basically every play. And it was never called. Not once. The entire game.
Yeah.
They were false starting every play. And they did not call it.
Well, and there was they said that one of the offensive linemen to go back to the Chiefs game, one of the offensive linemen for the Chiefs false starts
their left tackle.
False starts on every single play, to the point where broadcasters have been calling it out and saying, like, look, he's that, he's doing it every time. And we were discussing this. I was discussing this within the last couple of days about the Kansas City Chiefs, that the Chiefs get every opportunity to score, to win, to keep possession. And, you go back to some of these games, and, I mean, you go back to the Super Bowl, and one of the biggest wind out of the sails Super Bowl is to end it on just kind of an easy situation for the Chiefs, a penalty that leans on their side. And so you ask yourself the question, are we seeing the Jordan rule in the NFL? And, are we seeing that with certain teams, right? The Chiefs and the Eagles, recent Super Bowl contenders. So, do they now have that that type of treatment and those types of opportunities, you got to call a game the way that it needs to be called, which it needs to be fair all the way throughout. I've watched plenty of games that haven't been fair. It's frustrating. I've watched games that I have no dog in the race, and I've watched Duke North Carolina games and seen a ton of bad calls, and I've gotten upset as if like that was my childhood team. I've watched Syracuse games where Syracuse doesn't get home calls at home. They don't get home calls on the road. They don't get them anywhere. So, I think like what you were talking about in this game against the Eagles and then before against the Chiefs, the New York Jets are a team that, like I said, a lot of people have written off. But the officials don't get to write off teams. They don't get to say, well, this team's not supposed to win. So, and I'm not saying that they're sitting there having a powwow saying this team's not going to win, so let's make sure that they don't. But I feel like we need to be cognizant of the fact that there should never be another element on a field or a court of life. If there are two teams, there are two teams. There should never be three. There should never be 2v1. And, the Jets...
That Chiefs game was 2v1.
Right. And it felt
the referees literally won the Chiefs the game.
Right.
I'm not going to say the Jets would have won had that interception stood.
Yeah.
I think there's a very high probability that they would have with how well that team was playing.
Right.
But you can't tell me that wouldn't have been a chance, and a very good chance to knock off the Chiefs had that interception stood. That would have been Mahomes' third interception in the game. Well, nobody picks off Patrick Mahomes 3 times.
No, and
nobody.
You talk about
so that's why they threw the flag.
Right, and you talk about that. You look at the Jaguars game where the offense just didn't have it clicking, where they should have beaten the Chiefs at home, first home game of the season, week 2 of this NFL season. And you talk about Pat Mahomes getting picked off. Andre Sisco got his fingertips on a pass from Patrick Mahomes in Jacksonville that I was down here at the game, got his fingertips on a ball by the right sideline and didn't come down with it, but could have been an interception. Then he intercepted Pat Mahomes in the second quarter by the goal line. And I've said this, I said it last night, and I'll say it again. The 3 best defenses in the country, again, in no specific order, in my opinion, are San Fran, the New York Jets, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And when people look at me a little bit quizzically going, okay, maybe I agree with some of those.
I think Cleveland belongs in that conversation now, too, after what they did to San Francisco yesterday.
Right. But my thing with them is consistency.
Fair. Yeah.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, and when people say why, because when I say Niners, I feel like this year people be like, okay, yeah, they're one of the best defenses. And people also, there's a lot of people that do what they're told. And in fantasy football, the Niners were number 1 on the chart. So people say they're the best defense and never watch a Niners game. But if you watch the Jets and you watch the Jaguars play, why I believe these are the 3 best defenses in the country is because they are defenses that create offensive opportunities. They're not just good defenses.
Correct.
They're defenses that turn teams over, that put their offense in good situations. And you cannot tell me that the Jaguars, who had 4 turnovers yesterday, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, and if they had come down and held on to 2 other balls, that would have been a 5 interception day for the Colts and the fumble. So you look at what the Jaguars did, and the offense scored on 3 out of 4 of those turnovers created by the defense. You look at the Jets, who are turning people over every single week. You look at Darius Williams on the Jaguars, who has 3 interceptions in the last 3 weeks, and they're all victories. And then you look at the San Francisco 49ers, and people are saying, are the Cowboys for real? And they get 3 interceptions on Dak Prescott. And what they've done throughout the season, the best defenses in the country are, to me, the ones that create the opportunities for their offense. And people can sit here and argue with me, but statistically, I know people probably agree with the Niners. They might agree with the Jets. I don't think they'll necessarily agree with the Jaguars because there's this perennial just conversation that people say the Jaguars suck when they don't even look at the record of the Jaguars. These are the 3 best defenses in the country, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. But to me, I don't see anybody else consistently making their offense stay on the field.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only other team I would put in there would be Cleveland. But like you said, I don't know if there's enough consistency there with them.
Right.
But the bottom line with the Jets is that with their defense, they are bullying these all-pro quarterbacks, these all-world quarterbacks. Josh Allen, 3 interceptions. They beat him. Patrick Mahomes, 2 interceptions. Arguably should have beaten them. Jalen Hurts, 3 interceptions. They beat him. I don't know, man. I still think the Jets are walking the walk after they talk the talk with their defense before the season. And not only did they beat the Eagles and have Jalen Hurts throw 3 interceptions, they did it without 3 of their top 4 corners.
Yeah.
Sauce was hurt, DJ Reed was hurt, and Brandon Eccles was out. One of their top replacement corners. I didn't know who the heck half these dudes were in the secondary, but they were making plays. They were making plays, and they won the game. Now, on that 3rd down play where Mahomes, I'm still thinking of the Chiefs, where Jalen Hurts threw that 3rd interception, do I think they should have just ran it and trusted their defense? Absolutely. But I am not for a second going to sit here as a Jets fan and say I'm not happy with it, because I was pumped. I got off the couch. I was screaming.
Yeah.
My dad was just very excited. And then they have the ball at the 10-yard line. They set up that play to win the game. And the defense is what held them off to hold on to win. So the thing, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit more, but I could literally go on for hours about that game last night, about the refs, and the third thing about the refs that I didn't say, the AJ Brown catch was debatable on the sidelines, but Zach Wilson got hit in the face again. It was not called roughing the passer. Josh Allen was called for what was it? Zach Wilson got hit worse than Josh Allen did in the Sunday night game, and that was his pass was called roughing the pass.
See, but
which is ridiculous.
And remember your thought, because I have to say this, and I'm not trying to interrupt. I want to hit the point when you say it. I am so over a defender, especially someone trying. When you have to sack a quarterback, I want people to understand the art of sacking a quarterback now, because it's insane. It defies all laws of gravity. It defies everything that you do as a defensive player. If you are running at a quarterback and you are trying to sack the quarterback, you have to run at him full speed, jump at him, grab him, and push yourself off of him in midair. You can't fall on him. You can't hit your helmet to his helmet, even and not that you should try to, but it's like the by mistake thing. You can't hit your face mask to his face mask. You gotta run and jump, and where do I put my head? Where do I put my legs? I'm falling on him. I'm 300 pounds. I gotta push myself off in midair. They have to do all of these things that defy the laws of physics to sack a quarterback. And when Josh Allen went up against Josh Allen, when the Jaguars linebacker Josh Allen went straight through the offensive line, nobody blocked him. He flew through, sees Josh Allen. In any other time in history, he blows him up, and it gets put on those VHS tapes that you used to collect about the bloopers and the big hits. He runs through the line, hits Josh Allen, and they immediately, there's literally 2 refs standing behind Josh Allen. They should have been holding hands with him. It would look like some type of kumbaya. And they both saw and as the hit's coming, as soon as the hit came, it was like the refs were already thinking it. They're like, yeah, do it. And they both threw the flag down at the same time. And they call it roughing the passer because the face mask hit the other face mask. Then they went back and looked at it, and Gene Steratore, who I appreciate the fact that he at least said this, he said if you look at Josh Allen, Josh put his head down and he tucked the ball. Now he's a runner. Now he's upright. You can hit him. But I'm thinking in my head, any other time in history growing up, you or I, Murph, our parents when you blow through a line and you hit a quarterback, and he didn't helmet to helmet, he didn't target him, he didn't try to knock the guy out. When he hit him flat on a straight line drive, how that's roughing the passer blows my mind. But you brought up Josh Allen, so I had to say it about another
Yeah.
game.
No, you're absolutely right. I was, I happened to be watching I think it was in the second quarter of the Giants-Bills game last night, which, by the way, was a much better game than we were expecting it to be, even though it was low scoring. Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous. How else are you supposed to tackle the quarterback?
Yeah.
Are you supposed to just push him and hope he goes down? At this point, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
So,
touch.
Yeah, like Wilson gets hit in the face, they don't call it. He got hit, he got pulled down. I don't remember which game it was. It might have been last week against the Broncos. Gets pulled down by his face mask.
Yeah.
And they don't call anything. Not a face mask, not a roughing the passer, nothing. They don't call anything, which is why the refs have it after the Jets. And the Allen Lazard blindside block on the free play, first of all, how the hell does that supersede the offsides penalty?
Yeah.
And second of all, it wasn't a blindside block. He ran right at him. The dude was looking right at him, and Lazard hit him square in the chest. A blindside block is when you hit someone other than square in the chest. That was not a penalty. That was a major turning point in the game. The fact that they were able to come back and win luckily makes that play a little bit less important. But at the same time, that should not have mattered. That was not a penalty. The Jets were deep in Eagles territory had that play stood. They finally get the team to jump and get a free play. And then the refs make a stupid call like that to send them back 15 yards. How are you going to call that from the previous spot? I mean, I thought it was supposed to be enforced from the end of the run.
Yeah.
Or from the spot of the foul. 15 yards back, which make it 1st and 10 from like the 35 or the 40. Instead, it's 2nd and 25 from the 50 or your 45 or whatever the heck it was. That was bogus. But I am sick and tired of the Jets getting screwed by the refs every single week. It's ridiculous.
Well, because they're not supposed to be getting
sick of it.
They're not supposed to be getting the calls. But this is the thing. It's like it shouldn't be about that. It's if you play the game and you play it well, there should be no conversation about it, right? You do what you need to do. I mean, for Sauce Gardner to go back to the Kansas City game and to call him for defensive holding.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was ridiculous.
He's looking at the ball.
If you're gonna call it right away.
Right.
If they would have called it right away, fine.
But my thing too
is a borderline call, but fine. But they called it 10 seconds later.
Right. But he's on the receiver. The receiver's on him. They're both touching each other and they're looking at the ball. They're both facing the ball and they both got hands on each other. So
could have been a no call.
So call it offensive and defensive holding and the penalties offset.
They nullify each other.
Right. So I do want to make note of this though, because you talked about last night's game being low scoring, and I've joked about this all season, but I haven't talked about it on the air. There's been some horrendous games on Sunday Night Football that take forever to score. These are games that are 10-3 at halftime, 6-3 at halftime, just low scoring affairs. And if it's not a low scoring affair, some of these games are blowouts. Dallas,
man, just hammer the under on Sunday nights.
I mean, you look at this, 40-0. The first Sunday Night Football of the season, Cowboys over Giants. Miami 24-17 over New England. That was low scoring. Pitt started out low scoring, 23-18. The Kansas City Jets was the best one, 23-20.
That was easily the best Sunday night game
by far. San Fran blows out Dallas, so it's like Dallas blows out the Giants and they get blown out by the Niners, 42-10. Then Buffalo 14-9 over the Giants. These I call them Sunday night sleepers. Outside of Kansas City and the Jets, these games have been boring. And they take forever. And it's like, I understand you schedule this in advance, and you're like, this is who I think is going to be a primetime game. But I don't know what's going on, Murph. Sunday night and Monday Night Football have been yawners this season outside of a couple games.
Next week will be a good one, though. Next week it's Dolphins Eagles. That should be a good game.
Right. It should. Yeah. It
Should be.
Should be.
We hope.
Should be.
We hope.
There's a lot of things that should be. Right?
Then the week after is Bears Chargers. That's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Bills Bengals will be good. Commanders Seahawks will.
10-3.
Vikings Broncos.
Vikings Broncos.
That's brutal.
That's
Ravens Chargers.
Yeah, we'll see. There is a Sunday night football game and a Monday night coming up. Sunday night, Ravens Jaguars in Jacksonville. Monday night, Bengals Jaguars in Jacksonville. I'm excited for those games. I don't know a year, and I've been a Jaguars fan since 1995. I don't know a year where the Jaguars had Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night football games. They have Thursday night this week, short week this week for them. Are
they home or are they on the road?
Down the road. So they're at the Saints this Thursday.
I was going to say, if they're at home, you just stay there.
Yeah. So, and there's another thing we have to talk about is the Diamondbacks, because here they are in the NLCS. And so
listen, we talked about it on this show. You said if they go to the World Series, you're going.
Right, and this is the thing. Well, this is
you promised that, so you better stick up to your word.
I was looking up tickets last night, hand to God. So I was trying to find a reputable website to get, because they've been giving like the
SeatGeek, StubHub. Those are the two.
Well, and
don't go in, or directly from the team.
Right. Well, I went directly to the team for the postseason stuff because they had been doing ahead of time, like if they were to make it, you could buy the tickets. But when I went on,
then they'll refund you if they don't make it.
Yeah, and when I went there recently, within the last 2 days and last night, they didn't have, like, what they did for the NLDS is they had the NLCS, which you could start buying tickets, it looked like, but they didn't do that for the World Series. So I don't know.
They'll do it in the middle of the series.
Yeah. So
like when they have a clearer picture of, if somebody's going to make it or not.
But
that there's less issues with issuing refunds.
Well, and the thing that I also call BS on, and it was frustrating, is that what the sites that did have it, it said World Series at Houston, World Series at Texas, World Series at Philly, and there was no World Series at Arizona. And I was like, oh, we already counted.
Because they don't expect them to win.
And I was like, they already counted them out.
They're already getting counted out. And, I mean, realistically, if I had to make a pick, it's going to be the Phillies. But you can root for your team like I would, if it was the Mets and if it was the Mets in this situation against the Phillies, I'd be rooting for my Mets, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, put it to you like
I think they got a chance. They played very well. I mean, even if this is the end of the road for them, what a season for those guys.
They've been counted out all season long. So I don't stop now.
But here's the thing. They are the most dangerous team left. You know why? Because they have absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah.
The Rangers are the fourth highest payroll in baseball. They have everything to lose.
Yeah.
They went out and got Max Scherzer at the deadline. He's finally going to pitch. The Astros are the defending champions. They've got everything to lose.
Yeah.
The Phillies just lost in the World Series. They've got everything to lose. The Diamondbacks were not expected to be here. They've got zero to lose. They are playing with house money. The most dangerous people in the casino are the ones playing with house money.
Yeah. That's why I love it. And here's my thing. Keep doing it. Keep underestimating the Diamondbacks. Keep doing it. I want y'all to do it because why break now? Why break it now? Diamondbacks fans, I'm speaking to you real, genuine people.
I'm rooting hard for Diamondbacks Rangers in the World Series.
This is my thing, people. And I love y'all dearly for this. Those true Diamondback fans, the people have been rocking with me since 1998, and I've been saying 97, and I apologize, math. So, because in your head you go 2001 minus 4 is a 7, but then when you actually put it all together.
Their fourth season.
Yeah, fourth season. So, 1998, I was a Diamondbacks fan. 1995, Jaguars fan. 1995, Raptors fan. When they came through the doors. Charlotte FC, what, last seat, what, 2022 or whatever we want to call it?
I was not even aware Charlotte had a soccer team.
Charlotte FC fan. So the Queen City, baby. So here's the thing is, to my real fans, to my devout fans, and not even, you don't even have to be there since 1998. If you're there since 1998 and you're in the OG lounge with me, welcome, much love. But if you're not and you became a fan in 2007 or whatever, like, if you've been with this team through the tough times, through the rough times, through the dismal times, through this season where people counted you out and didn't talk about you, they didn't talk about the Diamondbacks in the series. In these games, I was watching the post-game shows. They did everything in their power to go throughout the entire show without talking about the Diamondbacks, to talk about them a little bit. And then as soon as they advanced to the NLCS, now they're like, oh, hey, Corbin Carroll, look at these guys. You know these guys. I love these guys. I've loved them my whole life. And it's like, no, you haven't. They did everything in the NLDS to not really mention the Diamondbacks. They would push them to the end of the show. In the wild card, it was an afterthought. It was like, yeah, it was like, let's talk Phillies, let's talk Astros, let's talk Rays, let's talk Jays, let's talk all this stuff. And in the last 2 minutes, oh, by the way, the Diamondbacks won. They have a game on Thursday. Now they're talking about them. Now they're discussing them. Now they're being forced to, because there's only 4 teams left.
They don't have a choice.
They're being forced to have to spend some of their broadcast capital with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So welcome to the party. But I will say this, and I probably want to get a t-shirt made of it with a Diamondbacks logo on the back and on the front, keep hating us. Keep hating us. Keep doing it. Keep sleeping. I love it. I love the hate. I love the disrespect. I love the lack of care and concern, because all of that stuff should tell kids around the world and adults around the world when they go, I'm hated, I'm disrespected, I've been rejected, and I'm putting all my energy into what other people think of me. I would say to them very simply, let the Diamondbacks be an example to you, children, that when people hate you, disrespect you, and push you to the side, it does not change what God has meant for you, and it doesn't change your ability and your capability. And if disrespect and hate coming toward the Diamondbacks doesn't teach you that it genuinely doesn't matter farther than it comes out of the person's mouth, look at what they're doing. I love it. Keep sleeping on us, because I have slept very well the last couple weeks watching these games. And I'm excited. I know the Phillies are going to be a tall task. I know it's going to be difficult. I want to
That's going to be their toughest test yet.
Oh, yeah. I want to shout out
that lineup's elite.
It is. But I want to shout out Philadelphia in probably a way that Philadelphia does not want me to shout them out. Why are your tickets 5 times the price of Arizona? Arizona's
You know why?
Were $100. Philly's cheapest game ticket for this series, $549.
You know why?
Go ahead.
Because Phillies fans or Philadelphia sports fans are crazy and they will show up.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it will still be a sellout crowd.
Yeah.
They will pack the stadium. I have heard from people that were at multiple games in the postseason before. That stadium is rocking. It is one of the best postseason atmospheres in baseball. Yeah, and it kills me to say that because Citi Field was rocking last year in Game 2 against the Padres. But my God, just watching on TV, hearing what these guys have to say about it, having people that have been there, it is insane how crazy that stadium is.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying the Diamondbacks won't be, but the Diamondbacks also have a lot less fans than the Phillies do.
Well, a lot less true fans.
Yeah.
I would say that now.
Yeah.
I
hate Philly sports. So I really want the Phillies to lose. I was pumped when the Jets beat the Eagles. I said some choice words about the Eagles and their fans that I'm sure people can figure out what I'm saying. And I do not take them back. I truly mean what I said.
I would love for you to be a politician. It's like this is the apology that we're gonna go live to the White House right now, where Brendan Murphy's making a statement coming off of his previous statements. Hello, everyone, and you hear the
my fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans, I meant what I said. I would say it again, and I'm not sorry. Have a great night.
Yes. No, but I don't take anything back that I said. I put some stuff on social media that I probably shouldn't have, but I don't take it back. I truly feel that way about the Eagles and their fans. Most of their fans. It's not all of their fans. They have plenty of fans that are fine, but as I have mentioned on the show before, Eagles fans are psychopaths. Literal psychopaths. They will fight people for fun. When they beat the Vikings to go to the Super Bowl the year they won, they were fighting Vikings fans on the way out, but they won. The Vikings fans were just walking out of the stadium, minding their own business, and Eagles fans are coming up to them, yelling and screaming and fighting them for no reason.
Doesn't make any sense.
That is the reason I hate Eagles fans.
I call it the city of brotherly hate. I mean,
yes, it is.
It's.
I also hate Philadelphia. Period. And as somebody who lives less than a 2-hour drive from Philadelphia, I'm not sorry. I hate Philadelphia.
Philadelphia booed one of my favorite comedians of all time, Bill Burr, and they booed him, and it's on YouTube that Bill and Bill's got that Boston accent, you know, that you mother. And so he's up on stage. He had 10 minutes left. They were booing and yelling at him, and he refused to leave the stage. So he just said horrendous things about Philadelphia and then counted it down. He's like, I hope you all die a horrible, miserable death. I hope you burn to death. 10 minutes. I hope that your kids, 9 minutes. And he was going through his whole thing.
Oh, it's so funny.
You just hear these people hating on him. Let me say this. I got a couple things to say. Number one, shout out to my buddy Rob Drummond. Played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Big time Eagles fan. I love you, bro. Number two, let me say to the city of Philadelphia, y'all get a bad rap, but you also kind of
deserve it.
Yeah, like you create that. And then number three, and most importantly, before we take a step aside, the thoughts of Brendan Murphy are not the thoughts of Dan Tortora Broadcast Media or Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We'll be back after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, located on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open 7 days a week for your enjoyment. If you've never been a part of the hobby, it's never been a better time to join today. And if you are a part of the sports card hobby, this is the place for you to go to. There is nowhere in the world that I have been since I was a child and had this opportunity, never been to a place that has every MLB, every NBA, and every NFL team right there on their back wall in their own individual boxes. So whoever you're a fan of, you can be there in Central New York. And like me, you could be a Diamondbacks, Jaguars, Raptor fan all over the country, some out of the country, and I can go to GG Cards and Breaks and find special inserts, autographs, patch cards, rookie cards, and more from my favorite teams. They have singles, they have graded cards, as well as packs and boxes. You could go and try your luck there in doing a box break, a tin break, and all of the wonderful things that they have. Pokemon, Lorcana as well. Get out to GG Cards and Breaks. It's more than a hobby. It's making memories. It's building new friendships, and it's bringing the community together. There is something magical about sports cards that you can only understand if you dive into it, and there's no better place to do that than GG Cards and Breaks. 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. With that being said, we're back here on DT and Murphy on Wake Up Call. And speaking of cards, I got a few to show thanks to my big brother Joey, who gave me all these birthday gifts yesterday that I was like, dude, what are you doing? And he said, I love you. I said, I love you too. Very meaningful, and I appreciate him more than I could say. So there's a bunch off camera, but there's a few that I'm going to kind of just shout out today. This is a Red Ice Insert Fearless Panini Prism 2023 Will Anderson Jr., who I covered from the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm going to save these two for last. And then I've been pulling Diamondback cards, and I've been pulling them when I'm usually sitting next to Joey. I've pulled a ton of them. So I have a rookie card of Dre Jameson here that I pulled from the 2023 Topps Series 2. I have a Zach Gallen that I pulled here, and I just like that it's Zach Gallen. I just like him. And then I got Nelson's rookie card as well. But here's the two that if Joey did not do any of these boxes, none of these packs, and he just bought me these two cards, these would be perfect birthday gifts. A Red Ice rookie card of Zay Flowers, those that know me know that I'm a big fan of Zay. And the first time I've ever pulled a rookie card of this gentleman from a pack or a box, Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll.
So
Nice.
I had myself a good start to my birthday week. My birthday is October 21st, and it officially started birthday week yesterday, where I got to have some awesome cake courtesy of MT and PJ, an awesome Sunday sauce dinner, and some really kind and wonderful gifts, and my big bro Joey just knowing me all too well, and I will cherish these cards because they came from him. But I got a ton of stuff, and I cannot thank him enough. There's also going to be something in my studio that's Jaguars related that I'm not going to tell anybody, because for the people that watch and listen, you can always tell when something changes in the studio because you have attention to detail. So I will tell you something's coming to my studio. It's big, and it will be there soon. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is Jaguars related, and it was a gift from Joe. So birthday week started off awesome. Very excited. Murph, do you have any sports cards that you would like to share with us?
Let me run over to the box. I have I haven't gotten a ton of new stuff because I've been, loading up for, my big show next week, but
yeah.
Let me go grab the box. Let's see if we can find some stuff that might be fun to see.
All right. So as Murph does that, we'll take another step aside here for a fast break. We'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the Whole Frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, here with you on a Monday, which means that we are inside of DT and Murphy, which starts out every week on Wake Up Call, hanging out with you on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. GG Cards and Breaks is a huge part of what I do here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I want to shout out Josh, Anthony, Alex, Joel, and the entire team. Go and see them at 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. We just put up 2 new box breaks, the Bro box breaks with my big brother Joey. Check out our 2023 Topps Series 2 Baseball and our 2023 Panini Prism Draft Picks that are now available on all of our social media. Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT, and on YouTube.com, where you are right now, YouTube.com /WakeUpCallDT. So I've shown some of my favorites from my recent additions. Murph, what do you got for us?
So I'll start with some small stuff first. Guy that runs the show that I was at yesterday just bought like this giant, massive collection, like $20,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of cards that I found in his bin, and I got all these cards, mind you, for $75 total. So this one, Shane McClanahan would have been a Cy Young contender had he not gotten hurt, needed Tommy John surgery. That's a Topps Chrome rookie auto. This is an interesting one, a Gypsy Cream. I didn't even know this was numbered. Wow. This is number 17 out of 150. It's Brandon Nimmo and a Gypsy Queen auto. One of my Mets. There's another Gypsy Queen auto. This is numbered 133 out of 150. This is Brady Singer. Not a great pitcher for the Royals, but I'm a fan of his since he's a Florida Gator.
Go Gators.
Speaking of the Go Gators. Speaking of the Florida Gators, little Anthony Richardson action. Saw that in the box. Had to grab it. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Kyle Pitts cards.
Scored a touchdown yesterday. Cards. Thank you, finally.
Hallelujah. Hey, I think they heard me. I said free Kyle Pitts, and I think they finally heard me.
Yeah. I was in the airport and I walked by the thing and it said Kyle Pitts touchdown, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. So,
Yep.
Finally.
Yep. We picked up a couple Mets autos. This is Tyler McGill. Not a big name or anything, but it's a gold ink, and I like him, so that was a pretty cool one.
Card. I pulled his when I was down here.
Mm-hmm. This is a rookie auto, I'm pretty sure. From 22, it should be. And then we got Seth Lugo. Another one, just like the guy. Actually, this is a rookie auto. Look at that. I didn't even realize that. I kind of just saw it and I grabbed it. And then just put together a big pile and said, all right, this is what I want and everything. And then this one I only got because I think it was cool. This is from the Home Run Derby back in 2019. This is Pete Alonso. This is a really cool insert. So I got that just because I thought it was cool. I don't really buy a whole lot of cards like that anymore. So I'm glad I did because, it's a guy I like and it was cool. Another one, this one I said I wasn't going to show on the show, but I might as well since we're doing it. Little Anthony Richardson. This is Leaf. It's a Leaf rookie auto. It's number 2 out of 5. Obviously non-licensed, so this was a cheaper one. I think I paid $70 for this, but that's going to go into the PC. This was a cool one, and I got more of his stuff on the way today. Many of you are not going to know who he is. He was the number 1 international free agent signing last season. Get this. Take a guess when his birthday is. Like what year he was born. Just take a guess.
2003.
June 1st, 2006.
Aye. Coño. So wait, he's 17 years old.
He's 17 years old.
Yeah.
And he is already one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Ethan Salas of the San Diego Padres. That's his first Bowman auto. If this does not sell in the next couple weeks, this will be getting graded. And that's a really cool one. I kind of wish I sold this now, and I already know what I said about the Eagles. But the people down here love the Eagles, and I think it's an easy sale. Jalen Hurts, 4-color patch auto. That's a pretty sweet looking card. Not a rookie. This is from 2023. Yeah. But that's okay. It's a card that people would like. And then 2 vintage. It's hard not to like vintage. I wish this card wasn't as yellow as it looked, but this is Ted Williams, 1956. Ted Williams. This is one of his later cards, but it is without a doubt it's my favorite Ted Williams card I've ever owned. I'm just kind of hoping to sell it and then upgrade it. Maybe upgrade to a PSA 4, where the front's not quite as yellow.
Yeah.
And then this is another really cool one. This is also in a PSA 4. How, I don't know, because it looks a lot better than a 4. 1965, and I have another one on the way today. 1965 Mickey Mantle, PSA 4. I have a 62 Mantle on the way, and I also have some more stuff that's supposed to be here today. So then when I get home from some stuff I have going on today, I got to go to the chiropractor, and then I got to drop off something at the post office. I sold a card to somebody online yesterday, so I got to drop that off to get shipped to him. So if he's listening, which I highly doubt he is, the card's going to be on its way later today.
If you're listening, the card will be on its way today. If you're not listening, it'll be there next week.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, that's really the only news, like the cool new stuff that I've gotten. Everything else you guys have all seen before.
Yeah. Well, I'm building because Murph and I got a show coming up together.
Like this bad boy.
I can kind of see it. I can't see the name on it though. Oh, there's Lamar.
Come on.
I'm looking. Yep. I know. I was looking. I
was
looking
gonna say
at the
you
top.
better know what that is.
I was looking at the top of it, and I didn't look at the patch. That was my Lamar, it's now Brendan's Lamar, and I still talk about that trade. By the way, as part of that trade between the two of us, I got all 3 Corbin Carrolls, all PSA 10, or what was it, PSA 10?
One was PSA 10, and the other 2 were SGC 10.
Yeah, so all 10s. One of them a prospect auto, and the other 2
Pro debut.
The other ones, what'd you say?
Yeah, that was Topps Pro debut, I think.
And then we
So
had
it's a minor league card.
the other two were rookie cards. And so
Yeah, you had
not
a
only am I
Bowman paper first, and I think it was a Topps Chrome.
So not only am I excited because I'm a Diamondback fan and I'm a Corbin Carroll fan, but I said yesterday at the dinner table with Papa Joe, Mary, and Joey, I said, keep winning Diamondbacks because these cards keep going up.
They're going to be worth more than what I gave them to you for.
Where
They probably already are.
they are,
Well, when he officially wins Rookie of the Year, they're going to go up too.
they are in such a secretive place in my home.
I don't blame you.
They're like close to me.
Are you going to
Like
show me
secret.
when I come back up there?
I will show you. You will be. I might show like you and like my mom and dad. So be like, hey, if I if anybody ever like if anything ever happens, this is where they are. But yeah, I have shown nobody where they are, but my Corbin Carroll cards are never far away from me, and I think about them often. I don't even look at them. So, like, I honestly feel like with them winning and everything that's happened and me being on the road, that when I go home, I'm going to go and take them out and just sit with the three of them and be like, "Hi, boys. I've missed you. How are you guys doing?" So, no, I love my Corbin Carrolls. 1, because they came from you. 2, because there's an autograph. 3, because they're rookies. 4, because they're Arizona Diamondbacks. 5, because this has been a beautiful season. So it's just, I believe in,
It was a good trade. I think it worked. It's going to work out for both of us.
it was a
So
good.
I think I'm going to do well on the Lamar, and then you're going to do well on all that stuff. Whether you sell it or keep it, whatever.
Got my first Bryce Harper rookie out of it.
Yep.
So
Oh, I forgot that was in there.
which is also graded at a 10. So yeah, I'm very very appreciative, but it was a nice God incident, Murph, that if I was going to get Corbin Carrolls, that they came from you has a lot of meaning to me.
And the same thing with the Lamar. Like, it's one of those things where, like, and you talked about it when I was up there, like, you'd rather give it to me, even though I'm probably going to sell it, but you'd rather give it to me knowing that, at least for now, it's going to somebody that will appreciate it, which I do.
I didn't see me easily letting that card go, and I didn't realize how much more I would feel about it when I did. And every time I was like, "Oh man, it's not here anymore. I've had it for years." My first thought after I don't have it is, "Yeah, but Murph has it." And I'm like, "Okay, well if he has it, then it's still in the family." That's kind of how I looked at it. So
Yeah.
it's because that was a hard one to let go of. It's arguably.
I mean, hey, if I still have it when we go up, I mean, do you want to tell people about that?
Yeah, we can tell people. So
Especially now that it's confirmed.
Yes. So I was thinking about that today. Murph and I did a little thing. We did a show back in September here, and with Collectors Fest, and I want to let the people know that Murph and I will be back with you this December in Syracuse, New York, as the Collectors Fest mega show will be going on at the New York State Fairgrounds, and we will be there in early December, December 3rd, which is a Sunday. We will be there at Collectors Fest. So I do want to just take a look at this really quick so I make sure I get you all the information we need to give you. So this is sports card, toys, comics, and collectibles, which means that I'm going to be in my glory days because I collect comics and sports cards. Sunday, December 3rd, the Collectors Mega Show. Murph and I will both be there. We're expanding our stuff. So Murph will have a full table. I'll have a full table. And so we will actually be expanding the amount of stuff we're bringing. I might be bringing out some of my comic books. And if anybody has ever known me at any point in my life, sports cards and comics in the same place is that's like a little piece of heaven for me. So I'm really looking forward to that. Murph and I will have more space. We'll have more product.
Yep.
And I haven't talked to Murph about this, but I've been consistently stacking product. And the amount of top loaders that I have right now, that have something within them is exponential to what I had going into the last show. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff, and we're gonna
the big thing, and I found that out about that show when we were up there. You know, big thing is having the players that they want.
Oh yeah,
right. Like when I bought those all that Josh Allen stuff going into that show, like I'm gonna be buying a ton of Josh Allen in the month of November to bring up there because I guarantee it'll all sell, all of it.
There's some Eagles fan that's on.
Yeah,
eBay.
I mean, I'm gonna have plenty of Jalen Hurts stuff. I have plenty of Jalen Hurts stuff for down here.
No, I'm saying there's some Eagles fan on eBay right now going, I'm gonna do everything in my power to be enticing to Murph on eBay, and I'm gonna jack up all my Josh Allen prices. He's ready. He's ready.
No, but yeah, I'm gonna be looking for some good deals with Bill's stuff between now and December 3rd. I mean, I got a big show next week. If anybody brings me Josh Allen stuff, I will probably take it from them.
Yeah.
But that show is my biggest one before Syracuse.
Collectors Mega Show, number 90. Toys, comics, sports.
I think, to be honest with you, I think we need to do that all the time. Yeah, I really do.
I do. And
I'm in.
I agree. So, Sunday, I agree. Collectors Mega Show, number 90, toys, comics, sports memorabilia, and more. Sunday, December 3rd, 2023, New York State Fairgrounds, in a different building. We're going to be in the horticulture building, not the science building like last time. Horticulture, which is a little bit farther inside.
Is it a bigger building?
Yes. 581 State Fair Boulevard in Syracuse. Early bird admission is going to be from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And the show is 9:30 to 3 p.m. For general admission, it's a combination of Toy Fest and Collectors Fest together. Up to 250 tables of all types of collectibles from some of the best vendors in New York. Thank you for saying that. Appreciate that. Just in time for the holidays, brought to you by CNY Promotions. So we will be there, and we hope to see you in December, on December 3rd at the New York State Fairgrounds. And I'm actually going to share that, too, coming up here very soon. So I want to thank everybody that's involved, and obviously the people behind CNY Promotions for giving us an opportunity in September and offering us an opportunity for October, but we couldn't schedule it in from what we had. So we look forward to seeing y'all in December. Very excited.
Yep, we will be there.
It's gonna be huge. So
that's gonna be. I'm glad we finally got to announce that too, because I was like, we were kind of holding them under wraps for a couple of weeks. I was like, let's tell the people. Like while we're here, let's tell the people. But yeah. I've got to see. I got to look at New York. I've got to see if they have any more listed before the end of the year. Yeah. Other than that one, which I don't think they do.
There could be some stuff like Rochester, Buffalo. Oh, there's one in Buffalo. There's a few events in Buffalo, but there's a sports card place down in Buffalo. I might have to look up some stuff for us for that. But yes. So, and then there's always there's certain places that might do things that are like smaller towns, but still fun.
I like the bigger show. Like, I think the bigger show is better.
Well, I look at it like this.
A ton of people there.
I got a bunch of cards in the Marvel world from the Marvel movies that I'm going to be unveiling on Super Powered Pop, and also from my big brother Joey. And these cards, I'll probably bring these as well to the collector mega show, the collector's mega show, because of the fact that there's going to be comic book and collectible people there. But my comic books, my goodness,
I would bring your comics too.
I'm gonna
look, if you're gonna sell some comics, put them out.
I would tell you this, Murph, and I'll tell you this really quick, so I want to talk about the Jaguars for a second. But really quick here, I'm looking for Werewolf by Night issue 32 because it's the first appearance of Moon Knight. I thought that they had gone down in price because the Moon Knight TV show, I loved it, but not everybody saw it. It wasn't as highly critically acclaimed, whatever. And I don't know how much they're going to put into the character, which I hope they put in a lot more because Oscar Isaac deserves many awards for playing someone who has 3 different personalities and a superhero. He essentially played 4 roles in one show, which is insane. And he was incredible at it. Different accents, different mannerisms, different everything. So I was looking for Werewolf by Night number 32. And I asked the guy the last day I was at New York Comic Con, which was over the past few days. I asked the guy a price on it. He looks me right in the face and goes, 18,000, and I went, okay, you have a great day. 18,000, yeah. 18 grand. You have no idea, Murph. If you think sports cards are high, the first appearance of Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy
that I know is expensive.
number 15, the minimal price that you'll see for something like in terrible shape, awful shape, you might see $20,000-$30,000. You could easily see six figures on an Amazing 15 first appearance of Spider-Man. So, yeah, that was crazy. But I do want to get into the Jaguars really quick. Jacksonville, they're 4-2. They're on a 3-game winning streak. 3 weeks ago, I talked about regrouping, resetting, and refocusing, going out of town, going to London, being together, having an opportunity to refine themselves, just rejuvenate, re-everything. And it worked, and it happened, and they actually utilized the time. So that theme that I had and those thoughts that I had, it actually ended up coming to fruition. Credit to the Jaguars organization. Everyone got on board and did what they needed to do. It was an idea in my head. They brought that to life, and I'm so proud of them, truly, for what they did in London, defeating the Falcons and the Bills, coming home, defeating the Colts. They've played the Colts twice this season. It's the only 2 times they'll play in division. They're 2-0. So that's huge in divisional matchups for them to have that victory. They're 4-2. They've won 3 in a row. Darius Williams, speaking about defense, creating offense, he has 3 interceptions in each of the last 3 weeks. So he has 1 interception per game. Falcons, Bills, Colts most recently. They've won all those games. Their takeaways have been incredible. The defense has been there all season, for the most part, outside of 1 game. The offense has now been kind of getting in there as well. Brandon McManus hit a 48, a 49, and a 51-yarder yesterday. The man looks like he was doing this thing while eating a sandwich. It looks like he could make a 60-yarder without even burping. So
doesn't even have to try.
I mean, I understand why they brought him in. Still love my guy, Riley Patterson. And just an awesome team effort. I got a ton of interviews coming up this week on the Prowl, including Trevor. And I'm grateful. I'm elated. It's 6 games in, so, you know, it's building as you go. But this team definitely, everything in my mind of what they should do and could do, and I hope they did that and more. And they came home just looking better, sounding better, seeming better. And probably my favorite part of this entire run is that building relationships, anybody that knows me knows it's important to me to build close and personal relationships with the people that I talk to and not just interview them transactionally. And Evan Engram came on the team last year, and we talked, you know, like 2 or 3 times, I would say. And you always hope you leave an impression. You hope that people remember you and that you build a relationship that goes beyond the interview. And yesterday I interviewed him for the first time this season, and as I was walking away, he said, "Good to see you again." And it's moments like that that mean a lot to me. It was moments like talking with Trevor in the press conference. There's all these people there. He turned his body and looked directly at me and not only answered my question, but engaged me in answering the question. And I feel that respect. And so I'm really grateful for all of the moments that I've had. I'm grateful to the Jaguars organization and for 13 years of being here. And 4-2 is great. 5-2 is better. We got work to do. There's a short week, but man, the defenses look good 95% of the time, 90% of the time, you know, and the offense has definitely came out yesterday striking. Travis Etienne looks wonderful. Tank Bigsby's filling in areas when they need him. Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Evan Engram. Evan Engram had a one-handed grab by the sideline, and then he leapt over a player on, like, I think the very next player 2 plays later. So, I mean, Trevor's looking good. The offensive line's filling in well. The depth is there. I got to speak to Anton Harrison, our rookie tackle, for the first time ever on the show. I'm excited to share that with everybody. Tyler Shatley now has the most consecutive starts in Jaguars history. Super happy for him, and spoke with him before they went to London. Really grateful to have him in the locker room. So, I mean, I cover the Jaguars, and so my my story of watching them kind of grow these last 3 weeks is accentuated by the fact that I get to be in the locker room with the guys, and I'm very appreciative. And they started off my birthday week with a victory, so I ain't gonna hate. I'll tell you that much.
There you go.
So with that being said, Murph, any final note here before we jump off?
Let's go Jets.
So take flight, and I got to do this. You know I got to do this. It's Victory Monday, and I do this in win, lose, or draw. I got to give it to y'all. It's the first time I've done it on the show with Murph, but I'm doing it right now. Duval! Y'all have yourselves
come on.
fan.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, well, you got something?
If you're going to go the Duval.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Jets, Jets. Woo!
There we go.
Let's go,
Yesterday,
baby.
there was Florida State fans in the building. The first 2 touchdowns, at the end, I heard, oh, and I was like, where the hell am I?
Wrong
right
game.
now? Yeah, I was like, where am I right now? But, yeah, give me some of that Duval. By the way, at New York Comic-Con, I thought I'd be the only person wearing any sports gear, and I was, except for one Bills fan, and I was wearing my Jaguars bracelet. One of the illustrators is a Bucks fan, sports fan, and comic book fan, so he gets me, and I get him, and he's going to be on the show on Super Powered Pop, our entertainment show, soon. He was cool, shouted it out, we talked about it. He said, good luck to my Jets. And then I had the sweatshirt on outside on...
You mean my Jets?
Well, I said Jaguars.
You said Jet. You said Jets.
My bad. My Jaguars. My Jaguars. And so then when I was walking outside, there was another guy who saw my sweatshirt, and he's like, hey! He's like, there's a Jaguars fan! And there's moments like, Duval. That's when you want to say it. So shout out to the Jaguars. Thank you, fans, for showing up. Keep doing it. We need you. There's no sense in having a home game without the hometown crowd. So come out, see us. If you're traveling into town, come out and see us. We love y'all. If you're going to jump on the bandwagon, do it now. Don't do it later on this season. It looks less noticeable if you do it right now. So we appreciate y'all. We thank you. Jaguars, Jets, happy Victory Monday. God bless y'all. Murph, as always, I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Sounds good, sir. We'll see you next week. Let's go Jets.
Let's go, Jag. Duval. See, I'll talk to you soon. Coming from Brendan Murphy once again, DT and Murphy starting off your Mondays on Wake Up Call. We're going to take a quick step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. And when we come back around here, we're going to have the opportunity to jump into our Alfred University content, speaking with the Alfred University Saxons and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. The Saxons are a part of our broadcasts every single
recording
week,
in progress.
and we have the opportunity to bring them in. So we always appreciate the Alfred University Saxons and our Saxons Spotlight, as well as our presidential perspective. We thank the Saxons for joining us here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and cannot appreciate them enough for the opportunity that we have to share in telling the Saxon stories in a unique way, in a fun way, and in a very exciting way. So it's always my pleasure and my privilege to speak with the team, and always appreciate having all of the teams here on the show. There's a very unique story coming up after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and it has to do with their baseball program with the Alfred University Saxons. They're a new team to the school, but not a new team to each other. This amazing story is coming up right after this on Wake Up Call, where sports meets life. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Happy to be here with you as we travel. We are on the road here in our second home of the great state of Florida, and we are always proud to be in our first home of the great state of New York and all around the country with you on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldT, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So however you're connecting with us, we appreciate you so much for being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It is my honor and my absolute privilege to have on the broadcast with me right now two wonderful guests that are going to be joining me here from the Alfred University baseball team, and always looking forward to the opportunity of sharing the Saxons Spotlight with all of you here on the show. So many thanks to everyone who's joined us here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And as we bring in the gentlemen here on the broadcast, we look forward to being able to tell their story with you. So we're bringing in their feed here, if you give us a second, to be able to bring that in to you and to share everything that's coming up. So I have Brian here with me, and we're going to bring Quinton here on the show as well. So let's make sure that we get everybody here on the broadcast. But definitely appreciate, you know what, gentlemen, I'm going to do something a little bit different here, and we're going to have some fun with this. So I'm going to see if I could do it this way and bring us in. This is the beauty of going live. So look at that. Got two guys in their seats right now, and we're going to have some fun with this and bring you guys in here and try and get me in here as well. But gentlemen, how are we doing today? How's everything?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing very well. So we have the head coach here, Brian Kehew of the baseball team, and we have Quinton Jordan, an outfielder on the team. So first and foremost, guys, just what you could say about the experience that we've been able to, showcase here with the team, and just what we can, what you could say about going through this process, which has been really interesting and obviously really unique. Just what you could say about the process overall and what you've taken away from the move from Madai to where you are today.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect example of one door closing and another one opening, really. What we went through over at Madai University was definitely very unfortunate. It was a really sad day when we got the news that it would not be opening for this coming fall. But it was really great that we were able to find out about this opportunity over at Alfred of starting up the baseball program and the chance to keep these guys together by bringing them over here. Because it was such a close-knit group of guys that, really loved spending time with each other and really saw the potential in what we were looking to build. So they wanted to make sure that that didn't end. We wanted to see it through. So we got a bunch of these guys to come over here. And from what I hear from everyone, the players and then the parents were just down for homecoming. It's been a great experience so far. The baseball side of things, we're about a month into that. And then academically, they're loving the experience academically. They're being challenged in the classroom. The professors are giving them great attention and just this real high quality education. Then I know another big difference for them was actually the food as well. They're really happy with the improvement in the food options that they've had on campus, the hours, and just everyone who's really looked after and kind of taken care of them so far.
And Brian, for you, when you make that move from Medaille University, I mean, this was a really unique situation, right? That Medaille had just joined the Empire 8 in 2022. There's this hope of, what this could mean and what the future could look like. And then to have a school close, during COVID, there was a lot of challenges that happened to different schools and different things that happened. There were schools that were already maybe in a place where there was some concern beyond all of this. And so to see something like this happen, just how did you navigate through that? And how did you deal with getting a phone call saying, hey, coach, you did nothing wrong. We got to close our doors?
It was hard, and unfortunately, it was actually my second time going through this. I actually came over to Medaille after being at Becker College in Massachusetts, which had kind of undergone the same thing. That one was definitely hit really hard by COVID. That first year that got shut down. And the second year when they went online, they just lost out on a lot of tuition, room and board money. Getting over to Medaille was another opportunity. They were really looking to invest, and they had big ideas for the future. Built this great, unbelievable athletic facility, which included a new baseball field. And they brought me on board to kind of really rebuild the team there, change the culture a little bit, and bring in a bunch of recruits. So it was really exciting. But unfortunately, with that, it also meant that I did bring in a pretty large class of guys. Yeah. And it was a little sad that, I brought them into something that just wasn't going to last, that we kind of found out at the end. So my first priority when I got the news was making sure that all of those guys were taken care of. I knew for a lot of them, this opportunity over at Alfred was going to be the best fit. And they got very excited about it really quickly. There are a few others that just for different reasons, something else was going to be the best fit for them. And the timing is really difficult because at that point, most teams do have their rosters already set for the following year. Even the application process is really tough. Obviously, financial aid, scholarships, all of that. So we just wanted to make sure that each individual was able to find something that was going to be in the best place for them, with a coach and a whole staff of people that were going to take care of them. And I think in the end, it did work out pretty well. But I know the guys definitely are, it did hurt losing that at first.
Yeah, absolutely. Quinton, how are you?
Great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And so, Quinton, I want to ask you this, kind of coming off of what your coach said. You spent a few years at Medaille University. How did you kind of handle that news initially? And I mean, like I said, it's such a unique situation. So bring me into how you found out and how you went through that.
So I actually found out online before the school was even able to tell us. And obviously right away, going into my senior year, a lot of thoughts started rushing to my head. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to be able to continue to play baseball? How am I going to be able to finish? Well, credits transfer, all those thoughts were running through my head, and it's a very scary time. And then the next day we had a talk with coach, and we were given this opportunity at Alfred, and right away I knew it was the best opportunity for me and the guys who came back.
Yeah.
Really, really like the town. Definitely like set up for college students, and I think it's great for the culture. I feel like I fit in very well here.
And when you make a commitment to a school and then something so atypical happens, like happened to Medaille, what was like? I know you said like you found out Medaille online, then you talked to coach, and then this opportunity comes up with Alfred. Did you just kind of have this connection with your coach to say, if he's thinking about going over here and bringing the team over here, then we trust him, so we're going to go with him. Like, how do you feel like the team responded? Was it kind of like we go where you go in this situation?
That was definitely a huge part of it. Yeah, I've been with Brian for the last 3 years, and he's always put the team first and always taken care of us. And I knew right away it was a no-brainer.
What is it about Coach that makes you believe that where he leads is a good place to follow?
Because he gives us everything he has, and he won't quit on us.
Coach, what does that mean to you to know that Quinton and your student athletes, when there's this isn't a move of like not a big deal. This isn't we got to change practice to another location. This is we're changing schools. Coach, why do you believe the team believes in you? Why do you believe that they took this journey with you to Alfred?
I think the big thing that always is going to be the foundation of every team that I want to have is those individual relationships where I don't say I'm just treating you guys as this one big group. To me, you're not a team. You are a bunch of individuals, and I got to make sure we have that relationship to make sure you understand I care about you as a person, as a student, as a baseball player. And I've got to do everything I can for them to help them with what they're looking to do, especially in those 4 years that I get to spend with them. I want to make sure they get the most out of it. And for me, it's just really rewarding too, getting to know these guys. They're really great quality guys. They have high hopes and expectations for themselves, and I want to do everything I can to help them achieve all of those goals.
And when you hear Quinton say that, when you make this move and you came up and told them, like, this is the opportunity we have at Alfred, and that he believes in you and believes that he should go with you, what does that mean to you to hear from a student athlete? Yeah, Coach, we trust you.
It means a lot. Kind of confirms to me that I am doing at least something right. And that's just the foundation of every team is that trust between the players and the coach, the players and each other. We're all working at baseball and trying to be the best we can with that. But we understand beyond that, there's this person element of it. And when I went out of business, that's definitely a lot of adversity that these guys were faced with. And I'm glad I was able to help them kind of get through that and move on to things that hopefully are better for them. And I'm really happy that all those guys that came with me over here saw that, their best path forward was going to be with me and with this university.
Why do you think their best path forward is with you? What makes you believe that you are the leader for these student athletes?
I think it comes down to priorities. My priority is making sure that as people first, that's what we're looking after. And then also, I really want to build this environment, this culture of excellence where we're setting our own standards. We're not letting people say, this is what, is expected of you. This is what you're capable of. My personal goals are always going to be perfection. And I want to go 40-0 every year. I want to win the College World Series every year. And I know that's probably not going to happen. And that's something where it's okay with me because I know that just because I don't achieve those goals, I'm not going to quit. Right. I'm going to work even harder. So that's what I want from these guys is just making sure that they understand they can achieve whatever they want as long as they're willing to work hard enough at it. So I think that culture and just knowing we had that unfinished business that we were just beginning over at Medaille, and I think we're going to be able to carry out here now.
And here with head coach of the baseball team at Alfred University, Brian Kehew, as well as outfielder Quinton Jordan, joining me here today from Medaille University, coming over and being included into Alfred University now and becoming the Alfred University baseball team. Before I go back to Quinton, Coach, how unique, I mean, this has got to be the most unique of unique situations when it comes to this, right? That, we look at, how about this? We look at the transfer portal, right? And I said to a commissioner a few months back, I said, I don't know why we're complaining about kids in the transfer portal when colleges and universities have been in the transfer portal in realignment for decades now, right? So we talk about the transfer portal and what it is. And he goes, I might take that. I said, yeah, coaches and colleges have been in the transfer portal jumping around before players have. this is not a transfer portal thing, but it is a transformation element of it that, keeping with the theme of the transfer portal, the entire Medaille University baseball team transferred to Alfred University. How unique, how fun, how much of, when you look at this situation itself, I mean, you're an incredible story. To me, this is a story that should be told, win, lose, or draw. It's such a unique story and a journey that I look forward to telling, if you'll allow me to chronicle this baseball team of we're a Medaille team, now we're Alfred, we're still the same guys, we're the same coach, we love each other, we built a family, but now we're wearing different colors, we're in a different place. It's a new team to Alfred, but it's not a new team to you guys. And I think that that's such a wonderful story to tell. I'd love for you to go a little bit into the process and the uniqueness of what's about to happen.
Yeah, it is great to, anytime you make a change as a coach, you're usually starting with nothing, like nothing that was previous to it. So it's great to come over here and not be alone, to not have to rebuild the program from nothing, or even, I guess, just build it from nothing. We got these guys who are coming over that are going to be this huge boost to a startup program. The guys are working hard. I know them well. They know me. They know the system that we're looking to go after. And one of the biggest things I always tell guys on our first team meeting is that we just want to make sure we surround ourselves by people with the same goals. That way we're all just lifting each other up and no one's kind of bringing the group down. And when we have that, everything just flows very easily. Everyone's looking at that same target. We're all working towards it. We're pushing each other to hold each other accountable. With the transition, it's kind of funny to me with the transfer portal to see the numbers in there. A lot of it's sad because when I do talk to those guys who are in there, they're transferring not because of some reason that was anything to do academically. You get a couple of those, but most of it was just a bad relationship with either their coach or with their teammates. And it's a situation where they just feel like they're not fitting in. They're not being given a fair opportunity. And that's the kind of guy that we can say, hey, we've got something special here with our team culture. And I can say that because I do know these guys. I've been with them just before this 1 year. And I know that when we walk into the dining hall, it's not a couple of guys over there, a few over there, over here. It's one giant table where they push them all together and everyone's sitting together for every lunch, for every dinner. When they go do things off campus, every single person's invited. So we don't have these little cliques. And now we get to say to these recruits we're bringing in that we have this established and we're just looking to grow off of it. We're not looking to build this from nothing. So it is a really unique situation. And I love that we have this strong foundation to start with, and really excited for the way things are going right now and what the future holds.
Quinton, for you, when you hear your coach talk about the strong foundation that comes with a new team to Alfred, but not a new team to you all, what does that mean to you to be a part of this foundation of this program that's building its history at Alfred when you've already built history with the team itself?
Honestly, I'm absolutely honored to be a part of this. This team of guys we have here, one word I could use to describe them is family. We all treat each other like brothers. We do everything together. Like Coach said, every meal we eat, we always get one of the bigger tables in the dining hall, and we're all sitting next to each other. We're that team. We're always together.
Why is this team so together? What is it about this culture that, because culture doesn't just create itself, right? There has to be effort that's put in. Why are you guys so close?
We all make an effort to invite each other to everything. Like anything I know, anytime I know there's something going on, I always let all the guys know. I always want everyone to feel included. And it's the same way with all the guys on the team. Everyone looks out for each other. Everyone watches each other's back. And same goes with Coach. Coach is always looking out for us and what's best for us. And I think that's a huge part of why we are like brothers.
I have to selfishly ask you a question because I'm a Diamondbacks fan. So you're an outfielder. I'm sure you're familiar with this outfielder, Corbin Carroll, a little bit. What do you think about Corbin Carroll, outfielder to outfielder?
Um, I mean, I haven't really watched him a whole lot, but definitely have some respect for him.
Do you have a favorite guy in Major League Baseball right now?
Yeah, Mike Trout.
Mike Trout. Okay, all right. Now Mike Trout is easily a favorite of many. Why is he your favorite?
Um, I just like the attitude and effort he puts into the game, the
Coach,
way he keeps himself.
Coach, I'm gonna go back to you for this one. You heard Quinton say blasphemy on my show that he hasn't seen a lot of Corbin Carroll. Have you, Coach, checked out Corbin at all?
Yeah, he is at least one of, if not the most exciting young players in the game. Kind of hoping for a rookie of the year there, which I know there's a lot of competition for right now. It's kind of funny seeing how young players are coming up these days, where teams just know, hey, they're at their peak athleticism at this point, and they've done so much advanced training at a younger age than ever before, so they're ready. They don't want to waste their years in the minors, and yeah, he's just completely dynamic player that can be that spark plug in a lineup. One of the most fun guys I've seen in a long time. Actually, it's kind of funny. Every year I keep seeing these young guys. A few years ago was Soto making that run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tatis with everything he does. And yeah, Rosarina, all these really great young players. And it's really fun seeing the energy that they bring into the game and to a lineup. And the Diamondbacks might take it pretty far. They already have. Definitely beating a lot of expectations that have been set for them.
I tell people, listen, keep hating, keep disrespecting, keep overlooking because we've made it this far that way. So keep doing it. Quinton, I'm gonna go back to you here before we jump into rapid fire, where we get to have some fun and put each other on the hot seat. Quinton, why fall in love with baseball? Tell me when it started for you, and why baseball just became the sport for you.
It started at a very young age. I think from like the age I was 3, I had a bat in my hand. I'm pretty sure I owned like every baseball movie there was at the time. Um, I was just always surrounded by it. My grandpa actually had a huge impact on me because when I was younger, I was with him a lot. He was always watching baseball. He would always take me outside and he would pitch balls to me. And he definitely had a huge impact on my love for the game. From the time I was in Little League, he never missed a game. He was always there. And same with my parents. But definitely started at an early age, and I just never fell out of love with it. Played many years of it, and ever since I was younger, I always wanted to be a college baseball player. And now one of my biggest goals is to become a baseball coach
Why do you want to become a coach?
because baseball's had a huge impact on my life since a very young age, and I want to pass on the knowledge that I have and help the next generation of players and give back to the game that's given so much to me.
What has Coach done to maybe inspire that in you? Is there a way that he coaches you, a way that he teaches you that has kind of even more so fueled that fire of you wanting to be a coach yourself, watching how he coaches you?
Absolutely. Just the amount of effort I just see him put in to the team and all the extra, just even like the little things that he does um, really inspires me, really shows that um, sometimes just doing more than what's asked of you is what separates.
Yeah, doing more than what's asked you. Under promise, over deliver. Coach, hearing that Quinton wants to be a baseball coach someday, he's your student athlete right now, but he's been inspired by you. What does that mean to you as a coach to not only feel like he's listening, but to hear that he wants to do the same thing someday?
It means a lot. It's really exciting. I know he's going to make a great coach. We've already had talks about it too with him joining the staff when he graduates. So I love that he wants to stay in the game. He's got this passion for it, which so many people have, especially at a young age, especially going through high school. Then they get into college, and a lot of times that can change because it becomes, for a lot of people, more like a job to them.
Yeah.
And once that happens, that's when you start to run into some issues. We always want to make sure it's still a game, but we're competitors. We want to be our best. We want to work hard and win. And Quinton has put in more time and effort than just about any player, and that he still has that passion for it and wants to continue and pass that on to the next generation is really something special. And I know for sure something I would always love to have as a part of my coaching staff, and hopefully someday, going off on his own as a head coach as well.
Talking to you both, and this is the first time I've had you on the show, it's tangible when someone's being honest about what they care about and about each other, right? And I can feel from you guys that level of care for each other, that respect for each other, and that honesty toward each other. So I feel like this is an easy answer, but I'll ask it anyways. I imagine it's got to be pretty fun to be with this team, coach, in practice, at games, film, just kind of checking in with each other. I know that Quinton's the first student athlete we've had on from the baseball team here at Alfred, but it seems like if you have guys like Quinton, you're going to be all right no matter what happens.
Exactly. Yeah, I tell people that, things can be going great on the field. We could be winning, everything great with the school, with the education. We could have the best facilities, but it always comes down to the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And on this baseball team, we couldn't have better guys than what we do. So that does make it a joy every single day. At some point in my life, I did make a decision to change my career path from mechanical engineer to coaching. And I knew what I was getting into with it. And I don't regret it a single day.
What made you switch from mechanical engineering to coaching?
First thing is definitely the love of baseball. I always kind of thought, all right, if I can't keep going with my playing career, I'm just going to have to be a fan.
Yeah.
But I just kind of started to get an idea of what that distance from the game would be like. And I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to stay, involved with the game. My first thought was going to the business side of baseball. But again, that was a little too removed for me. I still want to be on the field. I want to be, inside of that competition. And I really want to work directly with these players on developing them, their baseball skills and their social skills and all of that. So coaching was the closest way I could get to the game, the biggest impact I can make with players in the sport. So wanted to get into that. And, it was a little bit of a long road, but really happy where it led to.
This is something that I know you just brought it up, and it's important for Quinton to hear and for anybody to hear out there. There will come a day where your playing time ends. I have near and dear friends to me that are baseball players through and through. They played all their lives. They played in different leagues, try to make it into single A, double A, triple A, try to make it on some leagues somewhere locally, or have to travel, create their own leagues, coach. I think about my buddy John Grenquist, who's my graphic designer for my company, and he's coaching, but before that, he was trying to play and trying to find his place there. And then I had dated someone a couple of years ago, and her brother, 30 years old, was in this league, and you could tell he didn't want to give it up, but his family almost wanted him, like, oh, you have a daughter, you have this, you have that, like, go take a job that gives you a lot of money, whether you like it or not. And you could tell that he wasn't ready, but other people wanted him to be ready. How do you describe that time in your life, Brian? And because I think this is good for Quinton to kind of keep in a treasure chest somewhere and come back and listen to it, when you know that your time is done and no one can decide that until you truly are ready to decide that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They say play as long as you can until someone tells you can't. But then, just like you said, it's not really about what other people tell you. It's got to come down to your own decision. For me, it was actually a handful of injuries that piled up against each other. And I knew I just didn't have the physical ability at that point to get it done. But it's also going to be priorities with you, where you want to spend your time, where you want to put your energy, your effort into. And for a lot of people, baseball is going to be worth that for a long time. But then there's something where you've got these other values that you want to make sure you're able to get your life going with some other things. And, go as long as you can with baseball. But when it starts to be those other values that kind of take precedent, that's when you really kind of want to look at changing directions a little bit to make sure you really do get everything out of life that you're looking to get.
Quinton, for you, do you think about that? Do you ever think about, hey, there's going to be that day? I know that when you love the game, it's so hard for any athlete to ever think about the day that you're not playing. But I know you said that you want to coach. So how do you view that road, knowing that this is a sport you played your whole life?
Yeah. Um, it's a thought that actually does come up a lot. I do think about, my last possible time ever stepping out on that field. I've definitely have thoughts. I've had many thoughts of that. I've definitely thought of the future a lot and what I can do to stay connected to the game. And fortunately, there is a lot of ways to stay connected. One of them being coaching and passing on that knowledge. And there's other ways you can volunteer and put yourself out there to stay connected. And I definitely plan to stay connected to the game for as long as I can.
What is it about this season that you feel like you haven't brought to the table yet? Something you've improved on, something that you're going to do differently? You look at your time at Madai, now you're at Alfred University. What are we going to see from you this season that maybe we haven't seen before?
I feel like my last few years playing, I feel like I've played with a lot of pressure on me. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I always try to be the best I possibly can. Um, and my work ethic's never going to change. I'm always going to work hard and give everything I got and bring everything I have to the table. But I feel like I'm just going out there now. Like, I know I'm good enough. I know I can do this. I think I definitely have a lot more confidence that I'm playing like I got nothing to lose because I don't have a whole lot of time left, and um, I'm going to go out there and give it everything and leave it with no regrets.
I love that. Playing loose, right? Think about it going into it, but once you're there, just
Yeah.
let the thoughts go.
Hmm.
So we're going to play rapid fire. This is going to give us an opportunity to put each other on the hot seat. You guys get to do that to me as well. So it's 2 questions apiece. Quinton gets 2, Brian gets 2, I get, and I'll ask you both a couple. So we'll go around here and have the opportunity to have some fun. It can be about literally anything: baseball, music, movies, whatever, just to get to know us a little bit better and to the people that are watching and listening. Quinton, you get the first question. What do you got for me?
All right. Dan, I got to ask,
Yes, sir.
uh, what makes you like the Jaguars?
What makes me like the Jaguars? I wanted my own team, and I don't like bandwagons. So I just really like the jersey. I liked the logo back in the day, and I love the colors. It's the teal is close to my grandma's color, my G Mama. And so I just kind of was drawn to the logo, and then I was drawn to Fred Taylor, who's one of my favorite players of all time, my favorite Jaguar of all time. And I've just been a fan ever since. I mean, I've been with them through every up, every down. I cover the team. I'm down here in Florida right now because I was at the game yesterday talking with Trevor Lawrence and Anton Harrison and Evan Engram and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess the colors and the logo drew me first, but what's kept me with it is I just genuinely love them. I feel like they're my own, and the organization's been really, really good to me over the years, and I've appreciated the good people that work within it. So, it's not hard to appreciate good people, I would say. All right, Quinton, my first one for you. You talked about Mike Trout. So, should Mike Trout be traded somewhere else? If he is, where should he go?
Um, I think he should definitely be traded to the Yankees. Nothing would make me more happier.
Okay. You've been a Yankees fan your whole life, I'm guessing?
Oh yeah,
Whole family Yankees fans, or?
yeah, the whole family.
Okay. All right. Mike Trout to the Yankees. If he was traded to the Yankees, who would you give up?
Um,
Now we get to find out who Quinton doesn't like on the Yankees. Who are you willing to part ways with?
I don't know. That's a tough spot, but
What if you traded him
honestly,
straight up for Aaron Boone? Does that work for you? Trade your manager for Mike Trout?
I definitely can't trade our manager.
So you like Boone?
I do. I like Boone.
Okay, good. Good to hear that. I like that.
Definitely someone like very like injury prone.
Okay. I'll let you think on it here, but somebody injury prone. All right, Coach, what's your first question for me?
What is your favorite TV show of all time?
Oh, that's a fantastical question. My favorite TV show of all time, probably, well, everybody that they're like, Dan, it's not probably, it is. I have TV shows that I like now, but my favorite TV show of all time is Boy Meets World.
Okay.
And I'm single, but in my head, I was gonna be like Corey. I was gonna meet Topanga, meet my own Topanga in a sandbox at 5 years old, go to school with her, date her forever, marry her, go off into the sunset. I got to meet the part of the cast of Boy Meets World, and recently, within the last, I want to say it was in the last 5 or 6 years, I got to interview them, and I got to, because I do an entertainment show called Superpowered Pop, but I got to speak with Will Friedle, who played Eric Matthews, Corey's older brother, and he truly is just a kind soul. And we spoke for a while, and you could see that he genuinely appreciated things. And then I got to meet Topanga and found out that she apparently was everybody's crush, which I did not know that. I was like, everybody find somebody else. That's mine. You need to step away from this lady. But no, I mean, she was super sweet, super down to earth. Took a picture with her. She grabbed my phone and like took it herself. There was no like handler there, and I didn't want to keep her. And she was talking to me about Buffalo, and she had been there with her mom, and she was the type of person that wasn't like rushing you off. Like, she genuinely appreciated that people came to see her, and I thought she was super nice. And the funniest thing about that story is I took a picture with her, my childhood crush, and broke up with the person that I was with the next day. Not because of it, but it was like a long time coming. So I just thought it was funny, the juxtaposition of like, I finally met Topanga and now I'm single. Yeah, Boy Meets World had a lot of messages that went beyond what I think they're teaching kids these days. So I would say that. All right, Coach, I love that question. So I want to throw it back at you because I'm intrigued. What is your favorite show ever? TV.
For me, it's Breaking Bad.
Okay. Little different than Boy Meets World.
Yeah, a little bit different. But yeah, I love kind of that unlikely partnership that's created, and then just the tension of the whole show, that they keep getting put in these impossible situations and finding a way out or a way around these different problems. And yeah, just a really exciting, thrilling show for me.
All right, I like that. Breaking Bad.
Great acting, great writing.
Yeah, and anyone who's seen it always says that, you got to give it a listen, give it a look, check it out. All right, Quinton, what's your last one for me?
I guess what do you like most about doing the show?
Getting to meet people, getting to make my world really small, showing people what it's like to work with honesty and integrity, and just trying to share with people the things that I was taught. I try to learn from everybody that I meet. I don't think I'm the smartest person in the room. I don't think I'm the best person in the room. I don't walk in the room with an ego. So I gravitate toward good people, and I love being able to share life with them. I love 5 years from now, you and I texting each other, watching a Yankees game, and me being like, yo, what'd you think about that play? Like, I look more forward to that than to a lot of things. I think it's all about relationships. It's all about building bonds with people, and truly believing that integrity and kindness and faith and compassion, that those things should rule the day, and not anything else. So what I love about the job is literally what I'm doing right now. I love that I'm getting to know you, and in getting to know you, I don't just go out to your game to cover the game. I go out to the game to like bump fists with you and say, "Hey, go out and kill it today." Like that stuff means more to me than anything. All right, Quinton. My last one for you. If you were to be described in a song, what song would it be?
Honestly, definitely like a song from like one of the Rocky movies, like Eye of the Tiger or something.
Okay.
Just like something relating to like strong work ethic and never wanting to give up.
I like that. There is nothing wrong with that. One of the best quotes ever is from Rocky Balboa when he's talking to his son.
Yes.
Coach, your final question for me?
If you could have any person, either living or dead, as a guest on your show, who would it be?
Robin Williams. Without doubt. He inspired me because he was never afraid to show his comedy. I love making people laugh. He was never afraid to be himself. And I feel like when he left this world, and people don't really know the story of Robin Williams, like you have to watch and it'll make you cry, but there's a documentary about what happened to him and the rare disease that he had and how he couldn't really, like his whole thing was his brain was just so good at thinking, right? And he went through this disease where the brain was, it was like almost talking to him and making him paranoid. It was like his brain was working against him, and it was just so sad to watch the story because he's just an incredible talent. I would sit with him and just talk about everything. I'd talk about my grandparents. I would talk about my upbringing. I'd want to know about him and what makes him tick. I would do my impressions, have him do his impressions, and just see if I could make him laugh once. But yeah, I mean, I think if you said to me right now, you're 100 years old, you're going to heaven, besides shaking hands with God and giving him a hug, what are you doing? You know, and seeing my family, I would definitely want to sit down with Robin Williams and just talk to him, for sure. All right, Coach. I'm gonna take that, but I'm gonna mix it into something else. You're gonna have a dinner with 3 people, living or deceased. Who are you putting at your table and why?
Well, I know one's got to be a baseball player. I know 2 of my favorite baseball players were actually Dustin Pedroia and Kevin Youkilis. So I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan. I just had a lot of respect watching the way that those guys played the game. It was kind of like that dirt dog mentality.
Yeah.
And so I'd say I'll go with Dustin Pedroia there. Then someone from history would probably be Leonardo da Vinci. I think would be a really good one. Just kind of that innovative mind. So I love that part. The third one. You know, I'm actually just going to say this one because he seems extremely entertaining. I've heard a few podcasts that he's done. George Clooney, actually.
Okay.
Seems like a really funny guy. So, yeah, he'd bring a little entertainment to the group, I think. Has some great stories.
It's a very eclectic group. I like that. Dustin Pedroia, Leonardo da Vinci, and George Clooney. So, in closing here in this Saxons Spotlight with the Alfred University baseball team, I would like to do something that I don't typically do, which I'm going to let y'all ask each other a question. Coach, you get to ask Quinton one.
All right. If you could visit any place currently or in history, what time period and place would it be?
Honestly, this one's gonna sound a little cliche, but I definitely want to visit Cooperstown when the game was first started.
That's a good answer. I like that. Go back to the beginning. Quinton, you can ask your coach anything in the world. I don't know if he or anyone will ever give you this opportunity again. So what question do you have for Coach? Anything in the world.
What is it that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated to stay in touch with the game and continue to coach and follow this dream?
Well, I'd like to say there's kind of some selfish part of it as well as that selfless part where I really do want to help people out, help them become the best they can be. Then selfishly is kind of that just pursuit of perfection. I will never be satisfied until I win the College World Series. And the truth is, once I do that, I just want to do it again and again. So I really do want to kind of create that excellence and make sure that we're not just achieving so much, but we're achieving it by doing things the right way, that we're having fun with it, that we're, ethically doing everything the best way possible, and teaching that life lesson of, your hard work paying off for you and being rewarded for that hard work. I think that's one of the greatest lessons you can learn through sports. So, I think it's just that drive to be the best and, kind of never being satisfied.
I like that. Great answers from two fantastic guests this morning. Medaille University's baseball team has come over to Alfred. It is now the Alfred University Saxons baseball team, and they will immediately be getting out there and participating in everything that is to come this season. I cannot wait for all that is to be. And Coach, like I said at the beginning of the interview, if you would allow me to chronicle this very unique and amazing story with Quinton and the rest of your student athletes, I would be absolutely honored to do that, and would love to be a part of making a little time capsule for you and for the guys.
Absolutely. That would be great.
So Brian Kehew, the head coach of the Alfred University Saxons baseball team, and outfielder Quinton Jordan. Brian, thank you. Quinton, thank you as well, and I look forward to talking with you guys soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Take care, gentlemen. We'll talk soon.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. That coming here in this edition of the Saxons Spotlight. Cannot thank those guys enough for being a part of the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Saxons Spotlight coming up for you monthly on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, exclusively in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Alfred University Saxons, and covering their programs, almost 30 sports programs at Alfred University. And we have already made history in just, I think, not even 4 full months of working together. We've already made a lot of history thanks to the incredible student athletes and coaches, as well as President Mark Zupan, Vice President for Marketing and Communications Mark Daines, and the leader of the athletic department, Deb Stewart. Want to thank her as well. So, with all that being said, we're going to take a step aside for a final fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We'll be back right after this, where sports meets life. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. This is a special message from 317 at Montgomery restaurant owner Joel Carpenter. Open Tuesday through Saturday for your dining pleasure on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York.
We wanted to be a part of the resurgence of Syracuse. We saw a lot of money being put into bringing people back downtown and thought that, we'd like to be a part of that. I love putting together a good dish where people see it first, they fall in love with it, and then it tastes just as good as it looks. We want to provide the best food in Syracuse that we possibly can, and we want you to leave here talking to your family, your friends about what you had to eat first and foremost, but also our service, and to walk out feeling like you're part of our family. I work out in the front of the house a lot, and I love walking to every single table, asking them how everything is, and people looking at me and smiling and saying, this is the most amazing short rib I've ever had. This is the most amazing filet I've ever had. And Donna is great. Sarah's amazing. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. And then them just being truly happy for the experience that they've gotten.
317 at Montgomery Restaurant, part of the fabric of downtown Syracuse, located on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday for a unique and memorable dining experience. What's up, my good people of the internet? Back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We are inside of our travel studio for the day as we came down here to cover the Jacksonville Jaguars. And my honor and my privilege is always to go on the prowl with you. That's what I call my coverage of the Jaguars. We do our quick post game outside of the stadium every single game that I'm there for. And so we were able to bring that to you yesterday. Check it out on all of our social media and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. My interviews with the Jaguars will be coming up this week, so stay tuned to the broadcast to find out when you're going to be hearing from offensive tackle Anton Harrison, defensive tackle DeJuan Smoot, about his faith and returning from adversity and injury, rejoining the team. Strong safety Rayshon Jenkins, linebacker Kaylavon Chason, as well as defensive end Roy Robertson Harris, and quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I'll be joining Wake Up Call in our Q&As this week. A lot of great stuff coming up. Big time thanks to Murph, as always, for DT and Murphy to start off your week. I love the fact that I get to start my week with one of my closest friends and somebody that I've been able to rely on. So shout out to Murph. Love you much. And also a big-time shout-out to the Alfred University Saxons and the baseball team. Joining me today, head coach Brian Kehew, as well as outfielder Quinton Jordan on the broadcast for the first ever baseball Saxons Spotlight in the history of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Alfred University. So big-time shout-out to the Saxons. If it comes from the Saxons, it's coming through us here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our partnership. And we have already gotten to make so much history with the wonderful people on campus at Alfred University. And I can't thank you all enough. Make sure you're with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. And, of course, once the shows go live, check us out on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. And a big time thanks to our incredible partners you heard throughout the show: Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, GG Cards and Breaks, Chick-fil-A Cicero, and Chick-fil-A Clay. Chick-fil-A Cicero is currently closed for refurbishment, so make sure you head out to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York today for those awesome and amazing sandwiches and shakes and everything they have to offer at Chick-fil-A. And, of course, shout out to Chick-fil-A Clay's incredible team that they have out there, all of their wonderful team members, including Ryan McGinnis, who was on the latest episode of The Light Between Us, which I'll be sharing on all of our social media, so you can hear his incredible dedication to the Lord that didn't come without its challenges, which I think is important for us to know. So make sure you check that out. Canine Camp Dog Daycare, 317 at Montgomery Street. The name of the restaurant is the name of the location in downtown Syracuse. Open Tuesday through Saturday with amazing flavors, including the continuation of their Taste of Mexico burger with homemade tortilla chips, homemade pico de gallo, and homemade queso. Make sure you go out there and try it today. It is absolutely fantastic, and I have gotten it the last 3 times I've been there, including 2 days in a row. That's how good it is, so make sure you go and get it today. Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Avicoli's, Great Lakes Honda City, PB&J's Lunchbox, Pizza Man, Mother's Cupboard, and of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of York. Lemoyne College Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Dolphins during Dolphin Time Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, where we're hanging out on AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, every first and third Wednesday of each month. Every second and fourth Wednesday, we jump into the Dolphin Dive, diving into the stories of student athletes, coaches, future Dolphins, and alumni at Lemoyne College. Make sure you find all of our content by subscribing to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. And, of course, for more information, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com. As always, Fins Up. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Come out and see your Bobcats men's and soccer seasons, as well as their upcoming basketball season for men's and women's basketball. Very excited for all that is to come with the Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse here with us in the Bobcat Buzz in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. The Bobcats, like I said, student athletes, coaches, and administration for men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, as well as baseball and esports. You can hang out with your Bobcats by subscribing to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, and of course by going to get more information on your Bobcats at syracuse.bscbobcats.com. As always, go Bobcats. The Alfred University Saxons are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You can find the Saxons every single month by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt for our ever-growing library of Saxon exclusive content. And, of course, you could be here with us on Mondays, as you are right now, Mondays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time for Saxon Time, hanging out with the president of Alfred University in the Presidential Perspective Specials, as well as the Saxons Spotlight with student-athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. Make sure you check out all of our content with the incredible Alfred University Saxons all throughout the year and every single week, airing here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. For more information, go to gosaxons.com, and as the website tells you, go Saxons. With that being said, we are set for a great week on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. It is my birthday week, and I can't wait to bring it to you. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Big shout out to Murph. Big shout out to Brian and Quinton. I hope you all have a great day. Please be safe. Be good to each other. Do not create problems. Be kind. Be compassionate. Be solution-oriented, not problem-oriented. And make sure that you treat people exactly how you want to be treated. Because if you do that, then you're not afraid of what's coming. If you don't, well, then you're always concerned about going around a corner. Be good to people. Be good to yourself. And always be you, no matter what this world does to try and kill your spirit. Never let it die. You're strong, you're beautiful, and you're amazing. Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. God bless.